Test, test, test. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Let me know how we sounding. Let me know how we sounding. Man, the market snuck off on us again, y'all. Was looking at these sell setups on GU and gold. As we can see, literally right before London session started, GU wanted to do the move without us. So just like with yesterday, we're not going to chase the setup. We're either going to wait for price to retrace back and retest 33.45, or we're going to look to see if we can break below 33.15 and hold it as resistance. This is literally what happened in yesterday's live stream. Remember yesterday's live stream? Price did a dump. It retested right before New York opened, and then it turned this low from support to resistance like we talked about in the live yesterday. Y'all could have caught this setup. All right, this would have been a nice 1 to 2, depending on where your stop loss was. It could have been a 1 to 3. In the live, GJ went as projected. We went and scaled another buy position and hit our SL. So the win streak is over, but we're still up for the month, and we're still up from last quarter. So, one loss out the month is not bad at all, especially when the month's about to end, and we had this literally on the last week of the month on a Monday without any news. So, and then on top of that, GJ is reversing right now. It's in reversal territory. So we didn't do anything wrong there. And then, like I said, that's why you always want to keep your wins bigger than your losses, and also keep your losses consistent. Because literally all I had to do was just wait for the next session, and then I caught this GU setup. And if y'all follow me on Instagram or TikTok, I know I caught this US30 setup as well. So again, there's opportunities all over the place. So as far as today, we do got some news today. We have 10 a.m. news for the USD pairs. And then later on tonight, when markets reopen, we got 9:30 Australian news. So we do got a few news events today. But with GU, again, we're going to be looking for continued sales, just like we was talking about last week and the beginning of this week. We see price broke through that level and continue the downtrend. So we're going to continue to follow the flow of price. Now, that would have been a nice move to have caught, but again, as you can see, the retest failed and then just snuck off on us right before London session started. And look at how price is reacting to my level, which is, again, why we entered exit off these levels. Gold ended up going as projected yesterday as well. So we're going to be looking for gold sales again, as long as we can hold 33.24 as resistance. We're going to continue to look for sales. So we're either going to look for price to retest that level, or we can see if price can break below and hold 33.04 as resistance, and then look for sales going to 32.86. That is the game plan for today. As far as the indices, I got to mark off NAS and ES, update those levels, and I'll give an analysis later on today for the members and students. Like I said, I'm still mainly paying attention to US30, but I do have members and students that like to look at the other charts as well. So I'm going to get some analysis for y'all for the rest of this week. Make sure I like the live, y'all, as y'all hop up in here. Make sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Just dropped a new video for y'all yesterday. Make sure to check that out after the live if you have not already. Got a new video dropping for y'all later on today as well at the beginning of New York session. We went live yesterday on TikTok. I had to stop the live though. I still have live access, but I had to stop the live because some stuff went down. But we're most likely to go live again today as well. We're sounding good. All right, cool. So make sure to have y'all's noties on. But like always notify y'all in the free signal, free Telegram as well. Whenever I go live, that's including TikTok lives. Right. So make sure to have y'all's noties on the free Telegram, as well as have y'all noties on TikTok. I post daily on there, as well as on Instagram, free game, as well as we go live at least 3 times a week during the New York session. Yeah, G is pushing. So again, we're going to see how price reacts to this level. We're going to see what this next 15 looks like. So we're going to be mainly watching GU and gold as of right now. US30, we can look for buys. If we can break above and hold 44.970 as support, we look for buys to back up to the highs here. Or if price can retest and hold 44.800 as support, we can look for buys there. So we got a few setups today. But y'all know the drill. We're just chilling, patiently waiting. New 5 minute about to pop up in a little bit. Those just joining the stream, we have not entered anything yet. These are just trade ideas. Make sure to hit that first link in the description. Go on a free signal, free Telegram. Y'all see on your screens how we did last month and last quarter. Go ahead and hit that first link and check it out for yourselves. If you guys got any questions, drop them in the chat. When we look at your charts, drop them in the chat. Just like you see on your screens, we've been going absolutely crazy this year and this month. Last week we went 5-0. It was 100% win rate. The week before that, we went 5-0. The week before that, we went 6-0. And then the first week of July, we went 3-0. Obviously, we had the 4th of July and a few other things going on. So a little bit of a slow week the first week of July, but we still started off nicely. Just picking up where we left off last month, as you can see, June we went 17-4 against 81% win rate, got 17,347 pips. You can see this by scrolling to July 1st. You click right here, it's going to take you to the beginning of June, where you can also see how we ended May, 19-1. We do the recap at the end of every day, recap at the end of every week, and recap the month and quarter at the end of every month and quarter. Literally everything's data timely documented. Can't make none of this stuff up. And like always, at the beginning of the week, we drop the Sunday chart analysis, going over not just what we see price doing Sunday night going into Monday, but what we see price doing throughout the entire week. Check out last week's Sunday chart analysis and look to see how price started off yesterday. You will see a majority of the charts when that's projected, not just on a day-by-day basis or London session lives, but also from projections at the beginning of the week. You check out this week's Sunday chart analysis, you'll see a lot of charts are slowly going as projected as well. And then if you scroll to, I believe, July 2nd, let's just go to it and find out. You can see just like on your screen how we ended quarter 2. April we went 16-1, May we went 19-1, and then again June was 17-4. In the quarter 52-6, giving us a 90% win rate, catching a total of 119,274 pips. So again, we really do this over here, y'all. Y'all hit that first in the description, check all this stuff out. We do got a sale currently going on, y'all. I'm probably going to post it again later on today in a free Telegram to remind y'all. But again, I don't want to be too spammy. But we do got a sale going on, y'all. Everything at the moment is 20% off. That's including advanced base signal, monthly, yearly, and lifetime. That's including 1-month sessions. And as well as Playmaker University, all you got to do is use discount code It's My Time at checkout. And then it will apply automatically. But yeah, so right now we're just waiting right now for our confirmations to be met. Again, right before London session, we was looking at this GU sell. GU dropped right before we went live. So we're either waiting for price to retest 33.45 and maintain that as resistance, or we're going to look to see the price go break below 33.20 and hold that as resistance and look for sales going to 32.95. All right, y'all. Gold, we're going to be looking for sales as well. We also live yesterday. Gold went as projected. Actually, we went 1-1 in the signal room, but in Playmaker University, we went 3 for 3. And I was showing this in the TikTok live yesterday, right? And by the way, the TikTok lives are not the same as the London session lives. The London session lives, I'm answering questions, of course. I'm mainly looking for setups, right? Because I'm trade sometimes Tokyo session, but I mainly trade London and New York session. The New York lives, those are like around like 9. I mean, not 9, or they're around 12, 1-ish. So I'm already in trades that I took for the day, and I'm teaching and breaking things down a lot further in depth, right? So the TikTok lives are not the same as the London session lives, and the London session lives are not the same as the TikTok lives, okay? The TikTok lives, I be teaching a lot more in depth. So if y'all really want to learn some shit, y'all definitely want to be in the TikTok lives, all right? But if we go into Playmaker University, but before we do that, let me okay, cool. Just making sure we're not missing anything. Right, but we're going to Playmaker University. We go right here. You can see right here at 8:34 a.m. I posted an hour before New York open. I said possible setups for today. We see this US30 setup. I said we could either hold this low as support or retest and hold this low as support. We could look for buys going to the upside. We see this gold setup. I said we could hold this low as a resistance. We could look for sells going to the downside. And then you see this GU setup again. You see how I retest this level. I said if we can push back down and hold this low as resistance, we can look for sales going down to the downside. We look at US30. What did US30 do? Again, this is what the screenshot was. Look at the market structure to the left. Again, this was at 8:30 a.m. We see price did not hold the level as support. Came to this level, literally tapped it, and then shot right back down to this level. Right? Nice 1 or 2 right there. We look at gold. Again, look at the market structure to the left. We go to gold. What did gold do? Literally dumped, hit this level. Look how I reacted after hit that level. Right? We look at GU. Right? And we talked about all these setups during the learning session live yesterday as well. GU push down, turn the support over to resistance, go out to the downside. Right? So we really do this over here, y'all. If you guys got any questions, drop them in the chat. We're looking at charts, drop them in the chat. Got a new 5-minute popped up. We're about to again, we're just waiting to see if price is going to retrace or break below and hold this next level. Again, we're not in a rush to take any setups. We're just waiting for our confirmations and volume to come in. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? So our alert just went off right at 3:30. So we're gonna look to see if we can hold and maintain this level as resistance, y'all. So that's what we're gonna be paying attention to. And then look at our price reacting. I'm gonna see if we can hold and maintain this level right here. What's going on? This is it. Do you only use these two time frames? I use a few other time frames. I break all that stuff down behind the scenes, but if you go watch any of my trade breakdowns, I just posted one right above you. It's my most recent one. I break down the full process, and you'll see all the time frames I use as well. Besides, obviously how I break down my key price lows and mark them off. But the reason why I'm just chilling on this time frame is because before I go live, I already do my analysis for the day, or at least for the morning. I might redo it or reevaluate, when New York session is coming up. But already, at least for London session wise, already did my analysis, so I know what my game plan is. And the way I trade, I don't chase price, I follow the flow of price. So something extreme would have to happen for me to no longer be looking, for example, on GU, a big move to the upside, and it would have to break multiple levels for me to no longer be looking for sells, right? Which is why I have my sell ideas, and I'm just waiting to see which one I'm going to enter off of, right? Just like what US30. Big things are going to have happened, and big moves and multiple levels are going to have to be broken to the downside for me to no longer want to look for buys, right? Same thing with gold. Gold's going to have to break all the way back up here for me to no longer look for sales. So that's why I'm just staying on this time frame, because right now, like I was talking about earlier, I'm just waiting for my confirmations of volume to be met. I already did my analysis. I know what my game plan is. So I don't have to really flip back and forth unless I'm just doing some extra confirmations or analyzing. But I don't use a bunch of time frames. I use like 3 or 4 time frames. But that's it. I identify the trend on the daily, and then I look for my entries on this, and sometimes the 5 minute. New 5 minute about to pop up in a little bit. Again, we're waiting to see if we can maintain the whole 33.15 as resistance. If so, we can look for sales going down to 32.95. Or if it rejects this level, we're going to look for sales at 33.45 if we can maintain hold that as resistance. Again, if y'all watched the Sunday chart analysis yesterday, you would have saw us break this down, as well as he was on the live stream on Friday. You would have heard us break this setup down as well. And if you was on live stream Friday, you could have caught this setup. If you was on live stream yesterday, you could have caught this setup. But yeah, so I do like this right here. But again, we're not jumping the gun yet. We're still waiting to see if we can hold this level, right? Because just because price breaks a level doesn't mean it's going to hold a level, right? This is a clear example here. Price broke this level, but didn't hold, right? We see here, price broke this level, but didn't hold. Price broke this level, but didn't hold. Price broke this level, but didn't hold. Above that is, right? So that's why we want to always wait to see if we can close and maintain that level. Thanks, sir. You don't trade breakouts. No, I do break and retest. Okay, it's very rare. There's only a few condition scenarios where I would break out trade, but for the most part, I wait for that retest. Right, waiting for the retest gives you a higher probability setup. Right, and again, here's a perfect example why I don't break out trade. Right, imagine I would have got excited and went for a sell when price broke this level. Instead of waiting for it to close or waiting for a retest, I would have took an unnecessary loss. Versus right here, you can see price broke this level, retested, held as resistance, dropped to the downside, right? Just like with US30 yesterday. Imagine if I would have went for a buy, got excited just because price broke this level instead of waiting to see if it could hold that support. I would have took an unnecessary loss. Versus here, we see price held the lower support and went for the buy here. Right, same thing here. Imagine we went for a buy here just because price broke this level. We see that it broke this level, but it ended up closing underneath. One of the things I tell the members and students all the time is it's important where the candlestick goes, but it's more important where it closes. Right. So again, a little bit of patience will save you from taking unnecessary losses because a lot of times people's analysis aren't wrong. They're just a little too early for the setup, which is why people end up taking the same setup, but it doesn't play out till the third time, right? Most of the times because they're not waiting for that extra confirmation, which is to see if price can hold that level. You get what I'm saying? And just like with any rules, obviously there's exceptions, but I was talking about this in the TikTok live yesterday. If you break your rules are your rules for a reason. If you don't follow your rules, you might as well not have your rules, which is why a lot of people are inconsistent with their trading and their trading results is because every time they see something, they just justify breaking the rules, right? The goal isn't to catch every pip or every candle. So the goal is just to make sure that when you do take trades, you're making money, right? That's the goal. The goal isn't to catch every move, every pip, every candlestick. All right, so let's see how this plays out. We got a new 5-minute popping up. Good question though. Anyone else got any questions? Drop in the chat. When we look at any charts, drop in the chat. Make sure to like the live, y'all, and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. We're almost at 3,800 subscribers. We can get to that easily, y'all. Just dropped a new video for y'all yesterday. Got a new video dropping for y'all today. I got a new video dropping for y'all tomorrow. I got a lot of videos lined up for y'all, not just on YouTube, as well as Instagram and TikTok. So make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok as well. Y'all see that scrolling at the bottom of y'all screens. Instagram, playmaker_way. TikTok, _playmakerway_. And as far as GJ is in that reversal territory like I talked about. We've been talking about this literally all month. How if we could not hold this level as support and break and hold 199.15 as support, we was most likely going to see coming into this new month either the trend continue or reversal and new trend start. So we ended up rejecting actually closing underneath this level for the first time, right? Price yet again respect this level of support yesterday, but failed. Went a little bit higher than Friday, but failed to hold the level at support again. And now we're in reversal territory. So I'm only going to be looking for buys if we can hold 190.55 as support. But to be on the super safe side, I'd recommend waiting to see if we can hold 199.15 as support. Or if we break below 197.40 and hold it as resistance, you can look for sells going down to like 197.05. All right. Again, we do got some news today. We got 10 a.m. news for the USD pairs. Then later on tonight, when markets reopen, we have 9:30 Australian news. So 30 minutes into New York, we got some news. So yeah, we're gonna see. We're gonna still look for a setup right now. But do keep that time in mind for those that trade New York session. We're gonna be holding trades in New York session. Got new 15 about to pop up in a little bit, y'all. About to see if we can close and see if we can retest and hold this level. If so, I'm not against going for the sell setup here. What's the candlestick confirmation you wait for under 15? This is exactly what I said, right? So this is why I always use this arrow and visually show y'all what I'm saying, right? So everything I do is intentional. So you're gonna pick up on it now. So when I say I'm looking to see if we can retest, this is so it's not a specific candle. So that's why people get messed up at, right? Because the internet has told y'all to focus in on particular candlesticks to tell y'all certain things. But those particular candlesticks don't always mean the same thing. The ultimate thing you need to pay attention to is the trend and the flow price is heading in. That is what's important, right? All these dojis, these double tops, double bottoms, fair value gaps, rising triangles, angry trapezoids, these are going to confuse you because the internet will tell you when you see this, that means this. But when we really get down to it, we see all these patterns in every cycle, right? We see double tops, we see FVGs, we see imbalances, we see liquidity, we see all this shit in uptrends, we see all those in downtrends, we see all those when prices consolidating, right? So the ultimate thing you got to pay attention to is the flow of price. So when I'm saying I'm waiting to see if we can hold low as resistance, that's literally what I'm looking for. I'm looking to see if we can hold low as resistance, just like we showed right here. Price turned this lower from support to resistance. So it's not a specific candlestick, it's more of an action. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people have to, again, it's not y'all's fault because y'all just go on the internet trying to find information. But unfortunately, especially when it comes to the trading space, a lot of information is just regurgitated and half explanations, not even full explanations, right? But you don't want to focus on a specific candlestick. It's more so the actions and what those candlesticks are showing and forming. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I talked about in the price action technical analysis playbook, along with other things like how to actually read the charts. Right. So if you're brand new to trading and you want to actually understand how the charts work, I highly recommend getting y'all's copy of the price action and technical analysis playbook that works on stocks, futures, forex, options, and crypto. This book shows you exactly how the charts work, how to never be confused what trend we're in, how to know the difference between a retracement, a reversal, trend continuation. No matter how messed up the charts look, you'll understand what's happening and what's the best move to go for, aka whether to go for buys or sells. Because that's where a lot of people were struggling and confused, especially quarter two, because they were so used to quarter three and quarter four last year, smooth volume, but they don't understand that at quarter four and quarter one, things slow down and things start to pick up quarter three, right? So with the market structure, as well as the different quarters having different volume, people was used to having smooth volume, easy trades quarter three, going into quarter four. That when the market structure changed or the volume changed, people was running around like chicken because with their heads cut off because they didn't understand what the fuck was going on. Just to keep it blunt, right? But that's why during those times we were still profitable and still winning trades. Obviously, we had to have a lot more patience. We took a little bit less trades, but we were still profitable because again, we still understood what was happening during all the quote unquote bad price action, right? And the very first book of the price action technical analysis playbook, this is what I talk about. But before we do that, let me pay attention to this really quick. Now, I didn't retest. I want to see a retest. So we're gonna hold that thought, but I'm gonna bring that screenshot of the first page back up. But I want to pay attention to G really quick. Give me 1 second. Those just joined the stream. We have not entered this trade yet. This is just a trade idea. We have not entered this trade yet. This is just a trade idea. Make sure to hit that first link in the description. Join the free student free Telegram. Y'all see on our screens how we did last month and last quarter. Go ahead and hit that first link and check it out for yourselves. Right, and that's another thing. Like, I be getting this a lot on TikTok. I don't know, shout out to those that found me on TikTok, but I think it's the algorithm and the short attention span TikTok trains people to have. It be frying some of y'all's brains, y'all. But again, I don't just be telling y'all to click these links just to click them. I tell y'all to click these links because this is going to show y'all a lot more free resources, but most importantly, it shows you literally my track record trade wise, as well as it shows you receipts and student results and testimonials, right? Because people always ask for receipts, student results, testimonials, but they never go to where they're at. You know what I'm saying? But we're seeing this retest, so we're about to see if this can hold right here. So while we're watching to see if this can hold, let me bring the screenshot back up. Right. So let's go ahead and bring the screenshot back up. So again, this is literally the very first page of the price action technical analysis playbook. One thing you have to understand before getting started is that price isn't randomly doing things, and there are no coincidences in the markets. If you see something once, you'll see it twice. If you see it twice, you'll see it thrice. If you see it thrice, you'll see it every day, every week, every month. The charts are like a 1,000-piece puzzle, each candlestick being one piece to the puzzle. Do you think you can see the full picture with just one piece? No, which is exactly why identifying a single candlestick doesn't help you understand everything. Think about it. These patterns or candlesticks people point out, do they actually explain what price is doing or why it's doing it? No, they just say, we see this, do this, or do that. Right? So this is why, again, it's not just a single candle. That's why when I break things down, I'm always talking about support resistance, flow of price, retest confirmations, right? Because the candlesticks are just that current candlestick, right? It doesn't tell you the full picture, right? You can't look at this candlestick and be like, okay, based off this candlestick, this, that, and the third is about to take place. No, you have to use a little bit more information, right? You look to the left, it's going to explain what's happening in the present, what potentially can happen in the future, right? Looking at the current candlestick is not telling you what price has been doing or what led price to this candlestick. It's just showing you literally what price is doing right now, which is why when people see a green candlestick, they call that a bullish candlestick, or a red candlestick, they call that a bearish candlestick, and they go for sales just off that current candlestick. Why, when price goes opposite direction, it's like, oh, fake out liquidity sweep, or oh, the buyers or the bulls or the bears just came into play. In all actuality, you're just not reading the charts properly. You get what I'm saying? So again, we're looking to see if we can hold this level as resistance right here. And then depending on if we can do that or not, we'll jump in. But again, I want to see if we're going to hold this or we're going to retrace back to if you guys got any questions, drop in the chat. We're looking at charts, drop in the chat. All right, and again, this is why we wait for retest confirmations. Because imagine we would have went for a sell just because price would have broke this level. We'd be in an unnecessary drawdown right now and at risk of potentially getting our stop loss hit. And all we had to do was wait an extra 5-10 minutes to see who could hold that level, right? So that's why I always talk about we're just chilling, patiently waiting, because there's literally no rush to enter a trade. Because again, you're not making or losing any money until you enter buy or sell. So there's literally no rush to jump into setups, especially when you're up for the week, up for the month. It's those impulsive moves or the impatience that will hurt your account. All right. So again, we see here why again we don't break out trade. We wait for the retest. All right. Clear example live. Because again, if we would have took that trade, we would have had an SL hit for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Even with risk management, again, it's just logically thinking. If I can just by patiently waiting an extra 10, 15 minutes, avoid an extra one or two losses on the setup I'm looking for, why not just wait the extra 10, 15 minutes? You know what I'm saying? That's why, again, I just be vibing. I'm never in a rush trading. Sometimes people don't like that, but it is what it is, right? Because, again, like we saw yesterday, projections are mostly correct. But at the end of the day, you don't know when price is going to do something until it starts to do it, which is why we wait to see if price is ready to make that move. We don't just jump in the trade once price touches a level, right? Because like yesterday, I knew sales was the game plan, but I couldn't tell you the exact time this was going to take place, right? Now, obviously, I know around the best times price does do things, but I can't. I'd be a liar. I'm going to tell y'all like exactly at 9:35 we're going to see this take place. No, you know what I'm saying. But I can tell you based on the market structure, I can see this take place. So then from there, we just have to patiently wait for volume, like I said, and the confirmations to be met. So sales is still the game plan. Price could still possibly come down there. But again, we got this level of traffic to the left, and we've had this huge dump for 3 going on 4 days. So we're either going to have volume today break through this level, or we're going to see some retracements, and then off those retracements, we're going to look for more sell setups. But as of right now, sales is still the game plan. The goal is just kind of consolidating, chilling. So we don't see any action. I always say this: we don't see any action between now and like 6 a.m. We're just gonna wait for 8 a.m., 9:30 open. But we do have news at 10 a.m. as well. So we're looking between 8 and 10 a.m. If we don't see anything this next couple of hours, so what's after the news plays out, look for setup. We don't avoid trading on news days, but you still got to be smart, right? When it comes to news days, because again, not every high impact news event there's gonna be crazy volume. Members, you just watch the news lives. You can see that not every time we go live, we see crazy volume spikes when the news pops up. But because there's the possibility of that, that's why again you want to be smart. So we're gonna see what this next hour does. But hopefully y'all kind of see now why again I'm always just patient, never in a rush, and to chilling and vibing because again the move is gonna happen when the move happens. Right? It's not a race to get into trades, get out. You know, I'm not in a 1 minute time for scalping. We're gonna be on for a little bit longer though, y'all. If you guys got any questions, drop in the chat. We're looking at any charts, drop in the chat. Appreciate those that like the live. If you ain't like the live or subscribe yet, make sure to like the live and subscribe. We got gold and US30 slowly moving as well. So yeah, we got a lot of possible setups for today. Again, every week's just a little bit different. And like I talked about the Sunday chart analysis, the first one, the last week of the month, you definitely want to take your time with trading because again, that's when we have the most news reports, and we have a lot of new weekly and monthly candlesticks and structures playing out, especially on the bigger time frames. Right, but if we look at last week we traded indices and gold heavy, right? But then the week before that, the indices and futures was slow, and we was trading just forex pairs, right? Or if we look at last week, not every day. Last week, the first hour of London session, we took setups, but 2 or 3 of the days last week we did. But the other days, the setups didn't play out until New York session, right? So every day is different. That's why, again, you got to understand what the charts are doing, what the charts are showing you. And again, you can't just because you enter a trade doesn't mean price is going to do what you want it to do, which is why, again, it's so important to follow the flow of price, respect price, and literally see what price is trying to do. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, we got gold about to retest this level right here. Let's see if we can maintain this resistance. Look at the G retracing as well. It just popped up. We're gonna be on for a little bit longer, y'all. If you guys got any questions, drop in the chat. We're looking at your charts, drop in the chat. All right, so we're gonna be looking to see if we can hold this level as resistance. Got a new 15 about to pop up a little bit, y'all. Why did my alert show up? I didn't hear anything. That's interesting. Again, y'all, make sure you use discount code It's My Time for 20% off. The sale's not gonna be going on much longer, y'all. It's gonna be up for this week though, but still make sure to take advantage of it because we don't do sales that often. Again, we got news at 10 a.m. So make sure to keep that time in mind. Not gonna be going live with the members today. We have a lot of news tomorrow, so I'm probably gonna go live during one of the news events tomorrow with the members. I just gotta check my schedule. Again, got a new video dropping for y'all today at the beginning of New York sessions. Make sure you have y'all notice on. I'm gonna have some stock and crypto videos for y'all later on this week and this weekend. Dropped a new video for y'all yesterday as well. If you're behind, I drop weekly videos, so make sure to check out the playlist. All playlists are up to date. Shout out to everybody in the live, y'all. Shout out to everybody that's been live since the beginning. Shout out to everybody that's been live since y'all joined. Make sure to hit that first link in the description. Join the free Signal, free Telegram. If you're interested in learning how to identify these levels, my Signal service, my mentorship programs, y'all know what to do. Click those links in the description. If you guys got any questions about what those programs provide, watch any of my YouTube videos. The last 3 minutes, I go over all the details. But of course, you can just hit me up in the DM, and I got you as well. Yeah, we'll be back at the same time tomorrow, London session 3 of EST. I'm still gonna be on the charts, but I got some things to do while I'm looking for these setups. So again, we're gonna be looking to see if we can hold this level as resistance. If we can hold 33.45 as resistance, we can look for sales going down to 33.25. Again, we are still bearish, but we did do a big move yesterday, and we've been dropping for a few days. And we do have this level of traffic to the left. So what we want to see this week and today is to see if we're gonna have some volume break through this level, or we could see some retracements and then see a new lower low get made as well. We could see a lower high, then lower low get made if we don't hold these next levels as resistance. All right, so don't be too shocked or surprised if that does happen. Because we could even try to retrace back down to back up to 33.75. It really just depends on what happens between now and then what the 10 a.m. news does. But we're going to be seeing how price reacts right here, and then we'll go from there. Gold, again, if we can maintain a hold 33.24 as resistance, we can look for sales going back down to 33.04 and possibly down to 32.86. US30, we're going to be looking for buys still. If we can break above the whole 44.955 as support, we can look for buys, go back up to the all-time highs, and the highs at 45.130. As long as we really maintain and hold 44.660 as support, we're still bullish. But again, we are just like with NAS100 SPX in all-time highs territory. So we're really going to be patient with these levels as well. And then members and students, I'm going to update my levels for SPX and NAS and talk about that in the New York price watch later on today. So look at this. We already see price holding right here. So we might jump on that trade. And then we see gold possibly trying to break back below as well. Yes, we might take a setup in a little bit. We'll see. We might take a setup in a little bit. You already know. Yeah, so we might have some setups play out in a little bit. All right, but this thing's still retracing. So again, we're just gonna let price do what it does, and we're gonna see if we can hold the level or not. Again, if y'all was here earlier, y'all saw a clear example of why we wait for price not just to break a level, but to see if it can hold. Because just because price breaks the level doesn't mean it's gonna hold that level. You see what I'm saying? But yo, we'll be back at the same time tomorrow, London session 3 of EST. So y'all want to pay attention to GU and gold, see if these hold. But we already see gold still rejected that level. And again, if we don't see any action between now and 6 a.m., I do recommend waiting until 8, 9:30 or after the 10 a.m. news to look for a setup. Because that's around the next time, the next sessions that volume will start to kick back in.